So, welcome, Jana, to our first episode of E&I Alumni Talk. And first of all, I would like you to introduce to our viewers, who are you and what do you have in mind with E&I?
Yeah, my name is Jana. I joined the WU in 2018, but this was not my first university that I attend. I went to a university in Germany first, and I joined a student initiative for entrepreneurs. And I really enjoyed the spirit and what we did, and the events we did, and the collaboration with other startups that we experienced, and it was a fun time. But then going back to my classes, I missed out on entrepreneurship, and then I had to take a closer look which university can provide entrepreneurial student tracks, and then I found E&I at WU. So initially E&I brought me to Vienna and brought me to WU, so E&I definitely has a huge impact of me moving to Vienna and also attending the specialization and the university.
Nice. So, basically this course was influencing you on coming to Vienna.
Totally, yeah.
Nice. So, if you could go back to the time when you started E&I, is there anything that you would like to tell your younger self to do different or to do the same?
I think I would do it all the same, but I had to take a lot of courage to do what I did in the end, because what's a little bit special about me is that I became a mother during I think my second semester, so before choosing a specialization, and I was a little bit afraid I couldn't do E&I because of time schedules with baby stuff and all that. But I figured out a way, and I was just very open with it. So I communicated I can just take this project course because the time slots are fitting with daycare times and stuff, and it was no problem at all. But it takes a little bit courage of yourself to be as open as I am with the topic, because if I don't, then I might miss out on opportunities, and I didn't want to miss out. So I said, I want it, but can you maybe assist a little by getting the course I need? And it all worked out. So asking for help, asking others to, asking for the things that I want, and explaining why I want it always made me level up or getting the next step. So it really, really helped to be open in communication, and then after that all went really well. And also this is what I did with all the project courses I had. All my teams I was in, they all knew about my situation, but all of them, I mean, everyone has their situation. It's not as special as people might think. Everyone has a hobby or a family that they care of, that they care for. So for me, it was just the circumstances that sometimes daycare is to special timings, but others then had a job, so we all had to get our schedules together. So I think it all worked out well. And I mean, I did E&I during COVID, so of course I would have loved to do it more in person, but I always had great teams, and we then also met in person afterwards, and for years after we still have WhatsApp groups and chat.
Nice.
And
really nice.
Keep each other up. And I also really enjoyed that one of my project teams was a team what was super diverse. There was one Austrian, and then from several European countries, different nations. So it was compulsory that we speak in English. It was not a regular team that you also have sometimes at WU, where of course the course language is English, but everyone speaks German. But it was not the case, and I also really enjoyed this, actually.
So you would also say not be afraid of being in a group with not German-speaking students, because
of course.
I mean, the course in general is always in English, so. And
this
right?
has never been an issue. It was more an issue when there was just one person not understanding so well. In German, obviously, because when private talks, then it might become
excluded.
German. So we always try to keep in mind that we continue to speak in English, and I think it all worked out well.
Great. So is there any specific advice that you would give today's E&I students on their way?
Do it. I think I think to be active and to be present is the best that you can be. So if you have an idea, say it. If you want to test something, test it. So there's nothing that you can do wrong. It's just I think this is also something that you learn in the project courses. There's no mistake that you can do. The mistake is not taking action. So if you try out something and then you realized, oh, this is the wrong path, you know it's the wrong path, so you figure out something that you haven't known before. So it's a big learning that you're doing. And if you then can talk about the learning, and then if you can provide this also on slides, and if you somehow provide data about your learnings and the mistakes you did, then you're so far beyond. And this is the process that you learn during the project courses, to fail and fail faster and to learn from this. And so being active is my biggest advice. And also for the students who are afraid of not getting into the specialization. I know students who tried it twice or maybe sometimes 3 times and then they entered. And all the students who just want to get into it, they get into it and they will love it. So
Great.
I think we come to this later, but I was in the E&I club later, and also as an advisor when I already finished the specialization. But when students ask us how to apply or what they can do better for application, or if they have chances to get in, I always said, do it. If you really want it, you get in. And I think this was good for some people to hear, so that's why I'm saying it. Just do it. Apply, because if entrepreneurial mindsets, if entrepreneurship is something that is inspiring you and you want to learn more about it, you have to do it. So and then you will get into it.
Great advice. So you already said you contributed in different activities during your studies, but how do you contribute now as an alumni in the E&I network?
Yeah, so I used to be in the advisory board for the club. So when the club was formed, I was allowed to be at some of the events or the team meetings and give advices, because how I came to this whole I want to become an entrepreneur thing was at my former university, when I found this student initiative for entrepreneurship, where I saw how to do events, how to maybe do a hackathon, how to do a pitch event and stuff like that. So I could also contribute from that. And I really so now when people are asking me asking me via LinkedIn or whatever, can you give us an advice how to get in, or what do you think my best match for a project course might be, then I always am happy to talk. And sometimes I have people texting me, or I just saw you because you're in the E&I LinkedIn alumni group. So sometimes I've never seen this person before. Maybe they did E&I years before me, and now they're like, maybe we're in the same field, can we catch up? So, and even when I was still in the specialization and there was COVID, we had calls with alumni, and I was still a student, but they were all over the world, and it was actually pretty cool what the institute did. We talked to people in Hong Kong, in Japan, people all over the world. So I hope to see more inspiring alumni in your former videos, because they're all over the world doing great entrepreneurial things, being entrepreneurs, being founders, being co-founders. So I think it's really inspiring to see also what the network can do. So I think a few of my today's project as an entrepreneur or as a founder, they wouldn't be there if I hadn't talked to one of my E&I alumni friends. There are two scenarios how they can help. Even one thing can be you have a question about an industry, about a client where you know this person already works for them or stuff like that, or maybe this person is your potential client or brings you a lead or so. I think in this whole entrepreneurship world, it's not like in the finance sector where everyone is like, what do I earn by that? What does it bring me if I do step A and B? It's more like, can I open a door for you? Because it's more the mindset of, if I open one door, maybe another door will open for me at some point.
Yeah, that's the general mindset of entrepreneurs, like helping others and not like hiding everything. I think that's in general the entrepreneur network.
I think people who are not so familiar with the mindset are afraid of sharing ideas and sharing their contacts or whatever, because they always think people might steal. But
that's
this is actually
yeah.
never happen. And but you get confronted by that, because when I share what I'm doing, people were like, oh, but I think everyone could do this. And I'm like, yeah, everyone could do this,
but never does. No one does.
But now I realize, but nobody does.
Yeah.
So why does nobody does? Because they don't care, or because they don't want to, or I don't know.
They
but
don't have
I want
the passion
to.
About
yeah,
it.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you own the passion, and if you, in your heart, deeply understand the problem you're solving, then you are the right person.
Yeah.
And I think so many people are not on that page, that you don't have to be afraid of that you were the one, that there's somebody coming and copying it. Not that way, not in the excellence or
That's really great.
So
that's good that you say that. And that's really great that you're telling this, because this is what we need, what our students need to know, like what is going to happen afterwards, after you finish your degree. And so is there any more advice that you could give, like alumni, but also to E&I students, that you would finally now say some final words?
I think not just the whole part of being active and starting and failing is important. I think it's also very important to make decisions fast. Because I sometimes have the feeling I could do this path or this path. We have so many options and we have so many opportunities, and it's really hard to choose. This is my experience, what I have, but also the experience that the people I'm hiring have. They're like, yeah, but I could also work for somebody else. I could stay in the family office or whatever. I can be in my comfort zone. I'm like, yeah, but if you want to do something new and try something new and develop yourself and learn, then you need to get out there and you have to do something new, and you can do this with us. So I always try to embrace people to try out something new. So I think trying and being good in decision making. Now I make the decision, I'm trying it out. So I take 3 months time, I take half year time. I really want to go deep into this. Do I want to do this? And for me especially, one big decision was, do I want to be funded or do I want to grow organically? And right now, like, I'm in personal debt backed by my friends and family, but I have no external money. I could grow faster if I would have it, but the experience I made in the last couple of months was, if I'm as free as possible, I can get the best chance to grow it the way I want it. And so it was a hard decision to do, because there was,
I can imagine.
there was already an investor. There was an amount of money that he wanted to spend. We had everything. It was all clear that we wanted to go to the notarity in the beginning of this year. But something said to me, I cannot do it. And I said, well, okay, I'm going to make the decision. And it's a hard decision.
Hear to your gut.
To not take all of this money and be safe. And I decided to not be safe and to stick with that. And
Wow.
So right now, the same money that the investor wanted to give me, I just made as a deal. So but you don't see this coming. I mean, I said no, but then, as I said, with the doors, you open a door for somebody else or you close a door, there's always a new opportunity coming. But sometimes entrepreneurship feels just very, very bad when you stay there and you close the door yourself
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, I don't know like what's happening on the next day. But yeah, then just somebody calls you and says, well, we talked a couple of weeks before, you did one project for us, can you imagine doing 100 for us?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I can imagine. So yeah.
Great. Wow. that's really tough to hear, but yeah, everyone goes their way, and if you feel like this is the right way to go,
I think gut
then,
feeling,
yes,
keeping this in your decision making is today the best thing that could have happened to me, because I'm still free. I have good deals for this year coming up. I have potential to hire more people. We can grow, and I hope it can fly by itself. And if not, then we are then bigger enough or big enough to even talk to other investors who see even more potential, to understand what we want to do furthermore, what the perspective into 5 years is, and then we can way better talk about a good evaluation. So
Oh, yeah. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
So in one word, how would you describe E&I for you? That's the last question for this interview.
Enabling.
Great. Great. That's a good word. So thank you very much for your time and for the interview.
Thank
it was
you for
really inspiring, and I think a lot of our E&I students will take a lot of value out of your input, and thank you.
I hope so. And they can always also contact me via LinkedIn over the alumni network.
Great.
Yeah, I really enjoy that.
Cool. Great.